What is up? I am TJ, this is Uncommon, and so are you. Hey guys, if you're new to Uncommon Live, it's where we encourage men to be the husbands, dads, and leaders we were always meant to be. In this video description, we'll have important and supportive information, so be sure to check that out below. Now this week we're talking about dads in training. Now, don't worry where you are in that process. It is a working process. So each stage of life will bring different challenges, and each child will be different, and you'll enter and exit seasons of life that will make you understand worry lines and hair loss. But I think where dads get in trouble is that we stop somewhere along the way. And so we want to talk about 4 or 5 points today about where we may stop and encourage you to keep going. So our first one is, we may think our wife may be better suited to have that conversation. Yes, you and I may, or actually will, have to have a conversation around sex with our son or daughter. Will it be a little awkward? Sure. But it still needs to happen. Do some research, talk to other parents about how they may have handled it, what worked and didn't, pray about it, and then speak to them anyway. Be sure to ask questions and listen and answer them regardless of how they ask it. The next one is, our children are not responding to what we say. Now, whether it is selective hearing, headphones, or just plain sass, we need to make sure our children hear us. And we also need to make sure we have something worthy to say. Sometimes we dole out pearls of wisdom, and sometimes we tend to ramble. So plan your conversations so you both can get the most out of it. The next one is, we may not spend as much time together as we used to. Now, don't overreact. Schedules change. Kids graduate school. They get married. But as long as you are investing wisely in your relationship, you both should make time for each other. And it may be different than when they were living at home, or even in a certain grade that they may be taking part in sports now, or dating now, or off to college. But just because you don't spend as much time together doesn't mean they don't love you. The next one is, we may think our children have gotten to a point that they don't need our input any longer. Now the question we need to ask ourselves is, did we raise a child that is dependent upon us for everything? Or do we raise a child who can learn, grow, seek advice when needed? The fact is, you and I won't always be there for our children. And so it's wise for them to be self-sufficient. Now, if you give wise counsel, they will reach out to you when needed. And if you don't give wise counsel, they will seek it elsewhere. And the last one would be, we may not be able to relate to what they're going through, because back in our day, right, times change. And just because it was one way when we were going through it, doesn't mean that's how it is now. So it's important to listen, learn to assess the landscape, and understand what your child is going through. That way you can have an effective conversation that is beneficial to both of you. Now, our Truth and Grace segment, the truth is, being a dad is an ever-growing, ever-changing call. And if you and I stop along the way, our families will suffer for it. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not grow weary. So, I challenge both you and I to not ease up on the calling we have in being a dad to our children. While there are many dads out there who are just killing it as being a dad, and we applaud them every step along the way and want to encourage them to keep going, there are dads who may have stopped along the way. Those examples were just maybe 4 or 5 examples. You may have your own bullet list that made you pause for a moment, whether it be a disconnect or maybe hurt feelings, or you cannot relate, or something has come between you, or you see a transition coming. So it's important for us to stay connected, because even though they may be going through different stages of life, they need to know that we are always there for them when needed. And they're going to need us differently in different stages. There'll be times when helping them ride a bike, or protection or provision might be is needed. And as they get older, maybe it's advice, or just some encouragement, or companionship. They may genuinely enjoy spending time with you. And so that would be a fantastic testimony that you have invested in your family and continue to build your relationship with your child, that as you got older, they got older, you still find value in each other's company. So I hope that this has resonated with someone this week. I know we get a ton of emails and prayer requests around dads, and it's one of the most popular devotion categories that we see get downloaded on YouVersion is topics around dads. I think most guys want to be a good dad, and they're up against it, whether it be because they're just dog tired from work. When they get home from work, man, they're just like, I'm exhausted. There are days when you need to take some time, sit on the couch and do nothing. You've earned that. We don't want to string together days and weeks and months of that, because even though our children grow slowly, they do grow. And so you don't want to be coaching or doing dad from the couch. And so we see a lot of that on our analytics when it comes to downloading devotions and content that is sought after. A lot of it is around dads. And so I hope that this has been a blessing to someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more information around our devotions, be sure to check us out on YouVersion, on the Bible app. We're also on Olive Tree, as well as Back to the Bible. And we currently have over 50 devotions on some of those platforms, and many of those are around dads. So, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. And with that being said, since you're going to be something, be uncommon.